Hello.
It was something different.
It's very unique.
Inspiring, really amazing.
Abstract,
Emotional.
Exciting.
Weird.
eye-opening, crazy.
Our teacher proposed the idea of going here and learning about history.
Would you like to go? And I was like, sure, and I'm here.
We've never heard about it.
First, I wasn't so sure to come here.
Getting out of my comfort zone every day.
At the beginning, we went to all the workshops, all the 3 different workshops.
The rap and creative writing workshops.
Vocal workshops.
Dance workshops.
It just blew my mind.
The best part of the program was meeting new people.
We cooperated really well as a team, talking to other people, knowing each other, and seeing that, we are from different countries and we can get along.
And I think it's something everyone should do once in their life.
This international group of students from different countries with different historical backgrounds meet together in these very painful places and have a chance to exchange their knowledge, their feelings, and have a chance to work together and to prepare together an artistic performance.
The idea was born in 2006. The title comes from this idea that in my family, I asked my grandfather when I was young about our family history, and he told me pretty clearly that he didn't really say anything. He was very silent, and I always say that it's a silence that taught me never to ask him this question again. But then the reality is that inside all of the silence is nothing but sound, pain, betrayal, screaming, crying, loss. And so the idea for this project is a way to find this sound in this silence.
We bring people to a location which has enormous historical significance. The time we spend with the students together learning about the history is very intense. When the artistic workshops begin, that is the moment when the history and the learning about history finishes. The participants of this project engage with their emotions and allow themselves to express what they have experienced through the last 2 days through 3 different mediums. And they get a choice. Do I want to express it through words? Do I want to express it through my body? Or do I want to express it through my voice?
I think artistic approach to this, it's very important because then you can have the personal connection. Then you can have some emotion that it's connecting you to some history facts, and you will remember it better because you have the body experience. And as I am working with the body in my workshop, then it's very direct and very clear.
Because the project is really packed with difficult things during the learning of history of Second World War, it's very important to provide to participants a space for reflection. From the first days, participants feel in a trustful atmosphere when they could reflect their thoughts in the groups and discuss this very important but also very difficult topic.
This project really builds bridges between cultures, between art forms, between generations, and I think it works pretty amazingly because the young people leave the project and there's something different about them than when they arrived. They understand themselves in the context of the world better. They understand what history means to them. They understand maybe that there is a different perspective on history by a different culture, and it gives them something deeper to think about other than what we learn in books.
I just applied just because I wanted that my students would
join it, and that they would learn about Holocaust, about one moment from Kaunas history, that they would learn it from a different perspective that they already know.
This project has shown me something that I've never got to experience, because I feel the tolerant and the overall very comfortable environment, but the methods that we use to express ourselves is very unique. And I like the fact that we are free to make mistakes. And firstly, I didn't have any idea about how to connect art with history, because I'm not an artistic person at all. And still, we did find a way. And I like the fact how non-artistic people can also find a way to express themselves.
You also learn so much about other cultures I've never known before. I really enjoy this project. I've met so many nice people and I've learned so much, and I've seen many things firsthand that you usually don't see, like the place itself, a survivor. It's things you usually don't learn in history class. You don't see them so close.
Ir kad jau tas jaunimas, kuris bendrauja, man buvo ir ypatingai svarbus to, kad iš tikrųjų nepaprastas jaunimas, ar ne? Ir man atrodo, kad tie susitikimai, kai jie sužino, kas buvo ir kaip buvo ir kodėl tai buvo, ne? Tai yra labai svarbus.
During the survivor's speech, I was surprised at how open she was. I was really grateful for being able to talk with a survivor of the Holocaust, which is like the first kind of experience in my life. And yeah, it gave me a new kind of way of thinking.
In school, it's always textbooks and learning that name, learning that year. Here, you get a different insight. You don't only get to know what happened, but also you kind of feel more about it. So I think it's a better way to keep track of how things were and understand how they came to be. And I think it's very important, because while we do need to know the facts, we also need to know the emotions behind them. That way we can learn about it better and remember.
Confinement! Confinement! And I was moving into a looking place. Did I deserve this? What do I have to face? It's useless, I'm not without freedom to create. Confinement! Confinement! No escape! Not meaning fate! Stripped of all human rights. What's the reason? Fear!
Today we stay here in St. Georgen an der Gusen, and this was a part of the concentration camp Gusen II. Here prisoners had to build a lot of underground tunnels, all in all nearly 8 kilometers long, and inside later they have to produce aeroplanes or parts of aeroplanes for the Messerschmitt company. Here in St. Georgen died a lot of people, minimum 8,000 persons, so that means that each meter is one killed person here.
I think it's really important, like the way we use the memory of our ancestors and the people that were here, and it's a memory that we don't have on our own. Like we took it from this place, and it really is full of memories, and you can really feel it. And it's very interesting how we are trying to use the memories and the history to give voice to the people that were here.
This is an experience. This is a new way, a new way to just see history and to bring it to life. To give it meaning, to just give personality to the history.
And I think this is actually what I also learned from it, that it's about being personally involved in it, doing something with the knowledge we have and creating something out of it. And if it's a project where people have to work together, it's the best thing we could do, having different people from different areas to make them work together and create something together.
What we're talking about here is exactly what happens when different nations and different people do not come together. So the international aspect of this project is necessary to even have it or even to participate and to even understand the concept of exclusion.
It was very different for me, and generally honestly, if this happens in school, I would like be a great student. With art, after learning with art, I kind of totally understand it, and like I got like a new dimension to the to my knowledge. Yeah.
History is not just something that you learn, but something you have in your family, and you can connect with that. And I think it's great to express that through art.
Have courage to discover the past. I became for sure more grateful for what I have after seeing, witnessing the trauma that the prisoners took part, and I'm thankful for what I have, and I'll probably be more grateful for what the others give to me.
Let's talk about their fear, their hate, their life, their pain. Everything was so real, but today it seems like my tears, my fears, my time is what's the point of history if we never learn? What's the point of history? 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 If we never learn.
Yeah, we are in a sort of private villa here, which was owned by industrialists until the early 1940s, and then the SS, the elite organization of the Nazi Party, used this building as a guest house. And on 20th of January 1942, a work meeting with breakfast afterwards was held here. It was invited to this meeting by Reinhard Heydrich, the head of the Reich Security Main Office, and he invited his colleagues, altogether 15 men, to discuss the implementation of the so-called final solution of the Jewish question in Europe. And that was the Europe-wide deportations and the mass murder of, as the Nazis had planned, 11 million Jews of Europe.
Instead of it being a place where murder happened, it's a place where murder, the idea for murder was confirmed, and it's a real moment in the history of the Second World War where the murder turned from a very personal way of murdering people to a very industrial way.
So this is completely different because we are coming to the location, that the location, it's not so full with all the energy, you know, like in a former concentration camps or former labor camps. So here everything seems so super and nice and quiet, but underneath it's everything rotten. And it's very interesting from the artistic perspective how to work with it.
Well, it was a new opportunity to do something completely new that I haven't ever done before, because I'm pretty new to performance art. Not to history, but to performance art whatsoever, and I really wanted to see how they could go together.
It's a beautiful combination because like we learn more. We have like left and right side of brain, and right one is like for writing, drawing and colors, and the left one is for mathematics and like poems. And then we like combine them, so we learn much better and more.
It's a big opportunity for me to learn new ways of teaching in a multidisciplinary way, and to see how we can engage students in different ways.
the part where we learn stuff is very little compared to what we do with it after that, because we process it a lot differently with moving our body and expressing ourselves. And it's not just history what we do here, it's also grabbing a part of ourselves and putting it into the work.
The idea of trust, also trusting a group leader, is also essential. But then on the day of the performance, the group leader gives the responsibility for this entire performance to those participants. They have the choice: do they do it or do they not do it? And at that moment, that's the big switch. But up until the performance, they're following, they're co-creating, they're collaborating, they're challenging themselves, they're crossing their own comfort barriers, comfort zones, and they're questioning constantly, what is it I'm doing? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it ridiculous? And it's only at the moment of performance that they have to take full responsibility for it, put it out in front of viewers, and then they realize that this is not about them, it's about everyone together doing this one event.
Why did no one have the power to stop this? Why did no one have the power to stop this? Why did no one have the power to stop this? Why did no one have the power to stop this? Why did no one have the power to stop this? Why did no one have the power to stop this? Why did no one have the power to stop this?
Jasenov's Memorial Site was established in 1968 with the mission of commemorating the victims of the camp, and also to work together with the survivors of the camp and the families of the victims.
I think the important part is really Stara Gradiška, because this is the location that it has been forgotten. And if we are talking about difficult past, then Stara Gradiška is definitely the place to talk about.
This is a location where we can find victims. This is a place where torture took place. This is a place where people were imprisoned. This was a place where not only the majority of men were imprisoned, but also a lot of women and children.
I think it's a quite charged place with many, many complex layers of history.
Well, it's a new experience for me, definitely. I haven't been to Jasenovac or Stara Gradiška ever, even though it's in my own country. And I feel like I'm exploring a new part of the country and of our history that I didn't yet get the chance to connect with, and that we never learned in school, and we won't learn in school as if we would learn here from a first-hand experience. And to actually realize that all of this did happen, and it happened here where we are doing our performances.
I think the most challenging part was understanding what happened here, because it's very hard to understand. It's almost it's impossible to feel what the people here were suffering from. So much suffering in this place, so much pain. That was the most hard thing to understand.
And I think it's good to learn from the past so we don't do the same things.
All I can say about it is that I wish that nothing like this would ever happen again, and that it was a good experience to come and see these places, Stara Gradiška, Jasenovac, where I went, and learn about the history of them and the history of the people who were once here.
Yes, also people hear us. They want to know what we feel about it, because at school we only have subject, the teacher talks about subject and you move to the next one. Here we could really speak up, tell what we think about it.
Tomorrow, 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 no! Today is the day to let the world know. This generation will break the silence, destroying never-ending cycles of violence. Stop!
When we are going to this project, it's like, be open and go on with this what you have, because it's never the same. So it is also like, even if we would like to prepare for it, so we can just prepare ourselves to be ready to hold the group and make it shine.
The result, I believe, at every location is always the same, in the sense that the participants, they struggle to learn history, they struggle to be here, they struggle to be artists, and then at one moment it clicks, and then at the end something beautiful happens, always.
Some of my former students participated in the editions in 2018 and 19, and I really could see their transformation when they came back, and they really enjoyed it, and I think it was the most impressive experience they made during their whole school time, and I wanted to give this opportunity also to other students.
I think Sound in the Silence gives participants a lot of space to reflect about values and to connect past, present and future. So we're not just learning history here and not just to remember, but also to reflect what is going on now in the world and how our future will look like if I would make the decision